everyone, and welcome to the Dear Herbalist Podcast. My name is Justaria. If you are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. You are most certainly welcome. And thank you for those of you who are my continued listeners. I always appreciate your continued support. So thank you so much to you as well. Tonight, we are going to start off really this month with something a little different. We're going to start looking at the traditional Chinese medicine patterns like stagnation, deficiency, dampness, and heat that not only occurs in our bodies, but also in the life of the herbalist. So it's going to be spread out over the next 5 weeks for the month of April. Now, why am I focusing on this? Why am I making those connections? Well, the main reason is because you can't create flow for your clients if you're stuck yourself. You can't guide movement in the body if your ideas or your creativity or even your business as an herbalist itself is stagnant. So tonight we're going to kick it off. I'm going to dive into stagnation, what it looks like in the body, how it shows up in herbalist lives, and what you can do to move forward. So what is stagnation in the body? In traditional Chinese medicine, stagnation is most often associated with the liver system, which is responsible for the smooth flow of energy, also known as qi, or life force throughout the body. When this qi gets stuck, it manifests physically as bloating or dissension in your abdomen, tension or pain that kind of moves around, PMS or irregular cycles, headaches or shoulder tightness, or emotional frustration, irritability, or just feeling stuck. And so the common theme with stagnation is that the movement has stopped. Energy that should be flowing freely throughout your body is blocked, creating discomfort and sometimes even heat over time. As herbalists, you know this well when you see it in your clients, but here's the plot twist. These patterns don't just exist in them, they can exist in us as well. Stagnation in an herbalist isn't usually talked about, but it is everywhere. And it's important for us to know when it shows up in our lives because we need to see it in order to be able to address it. So with stagnation, you might see it in your body as, or really even in your business, I should say, as sitting on knowledge and never applying it, or overthinking every decision. It may also look like waiting for the perfect moment to launch your business or a particular product. And trust me, I have been guilty of this. Procrastinating on content or consultations or the type of offerings that you offer in your business, or feeling frustrated because you're not moving forward. Does any of this sound familiar to anybody out there? If these things are happening, that means your inner energy is stuck. You are just stuck. And just like in the body, when ideas and energy and creativity aren't flowing, the stagnation begins to build pressure. And here's something that often gets missed. With stagnation, it is not a failure. It is a signal that something is blocked, waiting for movement and needs your attention. So for those of you that sit in your head a lot and are like, oh no, something's wrong with me. What's going on? I don't understand why things aren't moving, while I'm not moving, why life's not moving forward. It's basically a signal saying, hey, hello, something is blocked. Something is waiting for movement. Something needs your attention. It's not a failure on your part. So if you think about a client, let's say, who is constantly bloated or tense, is your first action to give herbs and then hope it moves? Of course not, right? You want to help them move the energy. So it's the same thing that is true for us as herbalists. We need the tools necessary, the practices and the actions to help us get unstuck. It's not just that one thing, but we need several things to help us get us moving and unstuck. So let's talk about why stagnation hurts us as herbalists. This is very important because it is hurting you as an herbalist if you do have stagnation in your life, in your business, and even in your body. The effects of stagnation aren't just theoretical, they actually create real challenges. Some of those challenges look like, you second guess yourself constantly, which leads to missed opportunities. Or you may feel burned out even without overworking. You're inconsistent, which affects clients and credibility, or you might avoid growth altogether because movement may feel uncomfortable. And a lot of herbalists try to just push through or just wait for inspiration, but trust me, that rarely ever works. Stagnation is not about force, but it's about movement. Like if you're stuck on a new formula, just simply staring at it at your desk is not going to help anything. You want to get up, try taking a walk, try messing around with some herbs, or write down your ideas. Just a little bit of movement will get things flowing again. So it doesn't take a complicated process. And I think our minds kind of work that way. We want to make things a little more complicated than it is. But if you simplify things and break them down into little tiny chunks, it'll seem easier to you. But also understanding what that stagnation is, or even the fact that you are stagnant. Having that understanding will help you as well. So let's talk solutions. We talked about what stagnation is. We kind of talked about what that looks like or could look like in your business. Let's talk about how we can move the stagnancy in your life, both in your body and in your practice or your business. Okay. So I'm going to give you some tips. And as always, get your pens, notepads, paper, back of a receipt, wherever you tend to want to write notes. And let me give you a couple of ways that you can move the stagnancy in your life, in your business, and in your body. Number one, movement in the body. So this looks like walking, stretching, riding a bike, dancing, okay? Shouting for some of you church folks out there. But getting the body moving. You can also use herbs that help movement in the body as well. These could be aromatic herbs. It could be circulation promoting bitters. Just you want to get movement in your body. Number two, movement in your business and in your life. So I want you to take one imperfect action per day. What does that look like? That could be, if you want to write a book, just start writing. Just start writing. If you want to make a post on Facebook, just put the post out there. Okay. If you want to start a podcast, get a mic, whatever you have available, or even on your phone, and start recording. Okay. Start recording. Talk about whatever topic you want to talk about. Don't wait for the perfect mic. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until, okay, before I post this on social media, I got to make sure that it sounds right, that it targets the right people, that it meet, no. Just do it. Okay. Another thing is speak your ideas, even if they're not fully formed. All right. And then make small decisions quickly rather than overanalyzing. So if you know that you can go ahead and get that post out there, or you can go ahead and start writing that rough draft, go ahead and do that rather than, well, what type of book do I want to write? Or what type of formula do I want to make? Or what type of podcast or movie or documentary? Just start and commit to doing and not just planning. Because some people, and again, I've been guilty of this, will over plan. You will have a plan for a plan with that plan to plan that plan. And by the time you get done with all those plans, you have not moved anywhere. Okay? Just do it. And number three. Okay, so the first was movement in the body. The second was movement in your business and in your life. And the third is express what's inside. Okay, what is inside of you? You can journal, you can speak, you can create content, share your voice with your clients, social media or community. Action reduces the pressure, just like movement in the body reduces tension. Okay, action will reduce the pressure. And a key reminder is that stagnation is not failure. It's an invitation. It's a chance to look at where your energy is blocked and start moving. I want to leave you with a few takeaways. Okay. I didn't want this to be too long of a podcast, and I think the next few won't be that long either. I just wanted to get the information out there because that's what I wanted to talk about. So we're going to recap real quick. Number one. Stagnation shows up in the body as blocked liver energy, right? Or ki, as they call it. And in your life as procrastination, fear, and overthinking. Number two, it is not a failure. It's a signal that movement is needed. All right. Stagnation is not failure. It is a signal that movement is needed. And number three, Movement is the cure. How do I deal with stagnation? Move. Get moving. Okay. So if you're sitting there and you feel your life is stagnant, it's not going anywhere, it's not moving, the voice and the person that you're waiting to hear is you. The actions that you're waiting to have happen, they have to come from you, not from anyone else. Move your body, move your life. Movement is the cure. Taking small actions, expressing your ideas, creating flow in both life and in your business. All right. So here I'm going to give you one challenge to do this week. Pick one area of stagnation in your business and in your life and take one small action. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for perfect timing. Just move. And next week, we're going to talk about deficiency, how burnout, low energy, and undernourishment show up in herbalists, and how we can replenish both our body as well as our business. So, if you like what you heard, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on all of my social media sites at The Demystified Herbalist, as well as my website at The Demystified Herbalist, www.thedemystifiedherbalist.com. Go on there and get all the education and information for the free that you can get. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Get out there, get moving, keep your energy moving in both your body and your business. And until next time, family, I'm out.